DM bone. And in the case that you are seeing, we were not able to save that upper molar. We need to extract it. We offer to the patient to place some bone grafting in the area for keeping the height of the bone. And after that, we have the chance to offer to the patient an implant or a bridge. In this case, the patient chooses the bridge. But as you can see, the bone remains in the position. If after 10 years the patient wants to get an implant, it's possible to place an implant there because we keep the bone in the position. In this case, we were able to save this premolar and we offer to the patient the implant. We place the same material, DM bone, as a bone grafting material, and after 3 months, we were able to place our implant, and after 7 months, we restored the implant, and the implants are working inside. In this case also, DM bone, the same bone, the orthodontics wanted to extract this anterior tooth, and he requested us to place some bone grafting material in place for keeping the height of the crestal bone. And as you can see, we were able to manage that as well. But what about endodontics? This is an interesting case because, as you can see, in this initial radiograph, this premolar have a periapical area here and a lateral area here. That lateral area may be because of a lateral canal or because a shorter root in that tooth. I broke a file. Here you can see the broken file. I wasn't able to take it out, but I just bypassed the file and I obturate the canal and I leave the file there. And not all of you are going to be able to see the final X-ray, but as you can see, after 9 months, the periapical and lateral area disappeared. With these healers, you can expect a faster healing of the periapical areas because they are going to stimulate the healing of the bone because they are bioactive materials. In this case, we try to keep the most we can dentinal structure without touching it. We proceed in the first appointment to remove the old restoration. This is the scenario after removing the old obturation, after removing the caries. I place some next stem LC for protecting my pulp chamber and for proceeding with my pre-endodontic core build-up. And this is my access opening, is really small because I didn't want to touch this dentinal tissue. I want to keep it. This is just after the pre-endodontic core build-up, and this is our final restoration. I am not afraid of this puff because the material is really biocompatible. One of the most interesting characteristics of bioceramics is that these materials will increase the pH in the area. That increasing of the pH will help you at the same time to kill bacteria because most of the bacteria species inside of the root canal, they cannot live in an alkaline pH. And the bioceramic sealers will increase that pH and you will have an alternative advantage. You will keep the pH high like for 20 days approximately. And this is a nice example of how effective can be detected. First step, we need to shake, we need to activate our irrigants. This is one technique for placing the bioceramics. I just injected the sealer and then I went inside with my master cone. After the injection, we just need to go inside with the master cone really slowly, and the master cone will distribute the sealer inside of the root canal system. After that, you just need to compact, and I want you to pay attention to the apical tier of the root in the final X-ray. I use the AQS for cleaning the pulp chamber, and look, can you see? We were able to feel that ramification in the apical area, just using one master cone and the sealer. Why can we do that? Because this sealer gets, when it gets hard, it gets really hard, and the sealing ability is really good. Actually, you can fill the canals just with sealer. The problem is that if you want to retreat one root canal treatment that was filled just with sealer, you will have a lot of problems because the sealer gets really hard. And we place the master cone, the gutta-percha master cone, for having a pathway or retreatment, because the gutta-percha is soft. And if we need to retreat, we can go all along the gutta-percha master cone for removing the obturation material. Another technique for placing the sealer is to get one drop of sealer in the apical area of your master cone, go inside, then do the same again, go inside, then we will inject some sealer just at the coronal area, not too deep inside, just at the coronal area, and after that we will place the master cone again. In that way, we will be sure that the root canal is full of sealer and the sealer will be pushed all over the ramification. As you can see, every case I use the device of the Genesis for cutting the gutta-percha, because that device can be used for cutting the gutta-percha in all your cases. And then for cleaning the pulp chamber, I clean this pulp chamber with this cotton pellet. As you can see, with the cotton pellet, it's much more difficult. When using the AQS, the sonic device, it's really easy to remove that excess of sealer that is located in the pulp chamber. See, it took me a lot of time.
Siêu người ta chỉ cần quét là thành tủy thôi, còn cái này là người ta lại bơm đầy đúng tủy.
Nó là cái chất mà
Chắc lắm.
nó cũng như anh nghĩ cái filler này nó cũng giống như là chất trong cái con cái số này đây. Thì người ta bơm như vậy một lúc tại vì là tính chất lỏng nó chạy vô những cái bên, nhưng mà nhét cái con số tạo một cam là cũng đẩy vô những cái bên rồi cái con nó không được á. Còn nhiều quét chỉ để kết dính thành ống tủy với cái con thôi. Còn mục đích của người ta
Of the characteristics of these sealers, we can manage some complex cases. Some people think that working in anterior teeth is easy, but it's not that easy. Sometimes we have difficult cases like this. I have this case with this lateral area I was suspecting, a little bit suspicious about resorption or a big lateral canal maybe in that area. And when I was working, I wasn't able to get inside of the main canal. My files were always going in this direction. And I was working under the microscope and I was able to see the main canal and the resorption area. But it wasn't impossible to me to follow the main canal because always the files were following the resorption. So I stopped for a while and I started thinking, what can I do here? Because the tooth was necrotic. If I perform just my obturation to this level, all the bacteria here will start growing and the treatment won't be successful. So I stopped for a while, what can I do? And then I decided, okay, I will use a bioceramic sealer. I will obturate until this level, and because depending on the bioceramic sealer, after 4 hours or after 24 hours, the material gets really hard, really hard. And I think, okay, I will place my obturation to this level. I will wait for 3 days, and then I will go inside following the Gutta-Percha master cone, and I was expecting that these sealers will block this entrance and allow me to go all along the main root canal. I proceeded that way, and as you can see, in the second appointment, I managed to follow the main canal, and this was my final obturation. I didn't have to do a surgery. I didn't have to extract the tooth and treat the tooth outside of the socket. I was able to do just a regular root canal treatment with a small variation in the protocol because of this type of sealers. Another way of placing the sealer inside is using the AQS. With the AQS, you can take the sealer with the tip, go inside, activate the AQS, and the AQS will spread the sealer all over inside of the root canal system. We can obtain cases like this, and we can use also this obturation technique for saving tooth. This is an interesting case in which my prosthodontic department at the university, they want to extract the tooth, and I asked them why, and they told me, you know, Jenner, if we prepare that molar for a crown, when doing our preparation for the crown, we will remove this structure. And the crown is not going to be reliable. And they were right. So I told them why we need to go for a crown. Maybe we can go for a different final restoration. And we decided to go for an endo crown. An endo crown is an overlay with an extension to the pulp chamber. So they told me, okay, if you are able to do the root canal treatment and to do something for stopping this resorption, we will proceed with the final restoration. So I took the patient to my office. I removed the old restoration. There were a lot of bleeding. It was kind of strange because that molar was necrotic already, but as soon as I remove everything from the full chamber, it starts bleeding a lot. As you can see, the doctor that performed the first treatment removed a lot of dentinal structure here inside in the X-ray, we were impossible to see that. I proceed to locate the canals, to shape the canals. We have had in that case 2 mesial canals, 1 distal canal with a split, with 2 canals in the apical area. You can see here, we have 1 entrance, but we have 1 distal canal, distolingual, and 1 distobuccal canal here. And we need to replace this lost structure here. So we place the sealer with the AQS, as you saw in the previous video, and now it's more evident that we have 2 canals there. In this distal canal, we have the resorption, and we decided to use a bioceramic sealer because the bioceramic sealer will increase the pH, and that increasing of the pH will stimulate the remineralization and will stop the resorptive process in the area. So this was the final radiograph. And as you can see, we have here a big curvature of the mesiolingual canal. With our lateral compaction technique filling properly these curvatures is impossible. And that curvature is not visible in this radiograph. But in this radiograph, this long curvature is really visible. Now we finish, then we send back the patient to the prosthetic department, and this is the final result. The periapical area is healing. We hope that that resorption stops. At this point, we don't know if the resorption already stops. We will see. Maybe after 1 year, we can determine that the resorption stops. But now, the tooth is in the mount and is working properly. Sometimes, and in some cases, we need to combine our techniques for obtaining better results. What happened with the bioceramic obturation techniques is that if the anatomy of the root canal system is too complex, sometimes just placing the sealer and going inside with the master cone will keep some voids, because the master cone is not going to be enough for pushing and distributing the sealer in the complete internal area. In this kind of cases, we can combine the techniques, and we can go with the thermoplasticized obturation technique for compacting the master cone, but we are not going to compact the master cone to the apical area. We are going to compact the master cone just at the end of the coronal third. In that way, we will be able to create a higher hydraulic pressure. We will pack the master cone in this area, and at the same time, we will be able to push the bioceramic sealer in all the ramifications. What to do after? What can you do for filling the coronal area of this root canal system? You can do 2 things. 1, proceed with the gutta-percha injection, or 2, proceed to inject the bioceramic sealer. In the way you want, you can proceed, and you will obtain good results. And we are going to see a nice clinical case in which we can analyze everything we have talked until now. With that case, you will be able to see the importance of having files with a high resistance to cyclic fatigue. We will see the importance of combining techniques sometimes, and we will see also the importance of having the opportunity to offer to our patient different techniques because not all the cases can be managed in just one way. And there are a lot of scientific information related to bioceramics. You can find a lot of articles related to this kind of techniques. Look at this case. I will let you see the video for having a general idea of what I did in the case. This was a non-restorable first upper molar. The patient was young. The only tooth in bad condition in the mouth.
Cắt nú rồi.
So what we did, this was a first molar, non-restorable, 16 years old patient, really young. So I started thinking, what can I do? Because I didn't want her to lose that molar. I cannot extract it and place an implant because she was too young. I cannot extract it and place a bridge because she was too young. She didn't want to use a removable prosthesis. So I think, okay, what are we gonna do is to extract the first molar. It was really difficult to extract it because it was really destroyed. And then I took the third molar and replanted it in the space of the first molar. The success rate of these cases is high. It's about above 92% when the apexes are open. When the apexes are closed, the success rate decreased to 85%, but still being a good success rate. So we did that. We split the molar in this position for 15 days with monofilament fishing cord. I use fishing cord for doing that. It's really easy to find. If you buy one roll of fishing cord, the diameter should be 1 millimeter. You will have fishing cord for all your life, and if your children become dentists, they will still have the material because it's a lot, and it's a really good material for splinting because it provides a semi-flexible splint. And look, we leave the molar under occlusion because we need that occlusion for stimulating the periodontal ligament and for avoiding ankylosis in the area. After 15 days, this is the clinical result. Like nothing happens. If the patient takes proper care of the area just cleaning, you will have this healing just after 15 days. But what happened is that when we extract the tooth, we break the circulation, the blood, we break the blood circulation inside of the tooth, and we need to do a root canal treatment. But what happened? This radiograph was taken 8 months after the auto transplant because the patient wasn't available to go to the office before. We performed our sensibility tests and the molar was already dead, it was necrotic. And now we can see that the bone is already healed here. The bone already healed here, but the tooth was necrotic, so we need to do a root canal treatment. But look at this molar, the molar is intact. No caries, a small loss of structure here. So I wanted to be the most conservative I can. This was my access opening, really small. It's not possible to see the entrances of the root canal, but if you angulate your mirror properly, you will be able to see each entrance of the root canal system. And this was the final result. As you can see, it wasn't possible to me to place the 3 master cones for fitting them and for checking them in the radiograph. But we were able to manage the case. For working in cases like this, you need to use rotary files in a martensitic stage. With regular nickel titanium, you will break the files because that files do not have enough resistance to cyclic fatigue. These files have a lot of resistance to cyclic fatigue, and in cases like this, my suggestion is use the files one time and do not use them again, because the file will go inside of the root canal treatment, inside of the root canal with a big curvature, and the file will get a lot of stress. So if you want to use the file for a second time, you will risk